Okay, Vince. Let's see what's going on here, bud. I think there's good news and there's bad news, so to speak. And I think one of the things that happens when the ball starts to go not very far is we assume that we've lost muscle mass, or we assume that we've lost power, or age is getting to us. And at some point, obviously that comes into it. But you're not there. That's not the reason you've lost some pop. You've lost some pop for one simple reason. Almost every miss that you have on the club face is on the toe of the club. And that's been your miss since I've been working with you. So we keep fighting to get, and this one's actually a little better, but you can still see where it is. That's the toe is a power outage because the collision with the ball of the toe opens the face, by the way. And you'll get this kind of either block to the right, or you get this little dead low hook. Oh, by the way, I want to mention something. Take your tool out, take your driver out, and definitely put another degree on it. Okay, 9.5 is not what you should be using, and I hope that that's a soft shaft for you, senior or R-flex at the very least. You can get Shane to take a look at that for you if you don't know how to move it, but you definitely need more loft, because the worst thing that happens is we get seniors and we miss the club face, or we lose some speed and we try to help the ball in the air, and then we kind of make problems worse. But so that club, this part here, where if you look at the distance, okay, another thing that just came to mind that we covered in the lesson. Stop the habit immediately, as of today, stop the habit of lining up off the toe. Make yourself move in an inch closer to the ball, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and line the ball up off the middle of the club, okay? Look at it this way. Let's be logical about this. You're missing it off the toe of the club. Why would you line it up off the toe of the club? I could see if you were shanking the ball or having heel hits, but it's counterintuitive and counterproductive to be lining up off the toe. So we're already fighting, so to speak, a losing battle there, okay? Now when we get into the there, look where you started on this one. Look how far in that's pulled before you take off. I'm going to make you a bet that by the end of this season, if you can break that habit, not only will I buy you a beer, but I will also assure you that you'll lose the toe habit, the hitting off the toe. Because let's go back to this first one here, or do this one, watch. See, the toe's either going to hit that low dive to the left because of what they call gear effect or gear spin on the ball. Gears that mesh, they go away from each other, so to speak. You're actually opening the club face with that, but you're hitting. Here, look where it starts again, Vince. Wow, there it is. Even before it begins back, it begins in. I'll do this real slow. Look at that. I guess my question is, how would Tiger hit the ball not on the toe from starting from there? The rest of this stuff is, this is you. There's no use beating our heads against the wall at this point. You've played some decent golf, rounds of golf. You've had your handicap very respectable. this part of your elbow flies and you kind of pull it inside, the weight goes to your toes a little bit. That's stuff that is built into your DNA in golf right now, and we really can't change that. And that's not causing the problem. What is causing the problem is when you come in and raise the handle. Now this one's in the middle of the club, see it? So here's my point to you, watch. If you start there, it's the same one. Let me go back to the beginning here. You start there, okay, right on this line, and here. And here, oops, I'll get that out of there. I want to get this same frame here. Now watch. Are you closer to the ball or further from the ball than when you started? You're obviously closer. Okay, let me draw a line around your hands here, a circle around your hands here. Okay, and I got a line back here on your butt. Okay, so watch. Let's get your real starting point, which is right there. There's your hands when you start. And there's your butt. Now watch. Look where your hands are when you come in. And look where your butt is. Wouldn't you assume that by doing that, you'd hit the heel of the club, lunging out at the ball? Like most people, 9 out of 10 who have that habit of what we call early lower body extension, most people shank the ball, or they hit everything dead off the heel. But you hit it off the toe. Okay, now the reason I mentioned flatter yesterday is this. I got a shaft here that's 54, and I got a shaft there that's 45. The club being 10 degrees almost, in some cases more, vertical, is going to hit imagine if you swung like this. Imagine if you came in at 90 degrees. You wouldn't hit it at all. You'd hit something in here, right? So if we can get you feeling like you swing flatter, like more outward toward the baseball, and standing at a good distance from the ball when you start, I think that that's probably the answer there. I'm trying to get two things. I'm trying to get you to the point where you don't have to beat your head against the wall to hit the center. And I'm suggesting two ways of doing it. A, let's make sense and let's move in a little bit, especially this back foot. And B, let's feel like you're swinging, more sidearm as you release it. Now remember, release is rolling of your hands and forearms. Left palm up, right palm down, plenty of release. But it coming from a sidearm position, like skipping a stone across a pond or hitting a forehand in tennis or baseball. So that would be our softball pitch. Yours gets too vertical, and I'd like to get it a little flatter. That really isn't a bad position there at all. Released, extended, extended, released. But if you pull that club in to the inside of the ball, not just to the toe, but inside the ball, completely missing it almost, that's going to affect the center of contact. Okay. Last thing I'm going to remind you of is your grip pressure. You are really, really tight, and that doesn't allow anything to act, the way we want it to. The one jam that probably got me out of my tournament golf days more than anything was relax my forearms, hands, upper body, just get it really loose and let the club head swing. There's the move out to the ball. Definitely should be hitting the ball further if we can get you to where we want you to be. There's that move of pulling it in. And you've always had a move of going out to your toes, but I'm reluctant to say stay on your heels, because what would that do? That would make the toe hit worse, right? So I want you to get back off the center of the club and then report back to me and let me know what you're doing, all right? Definitely discipline yourself to keep the center of the club at the ball, get off the toe aim, and move it an inch closer. Relax your hands and let me know how that's going, all right? All right, Vince, always good to see you.